into her place. There goes that word place again. We've read it in several scriptures. So that place that was prepared is America. That's the place where they served captivity. That's the place where they served slavery. They served out their punishment. And in process of time, this is the same place where we're going to be delivered from. It says, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And that time and half a time represents 350 years because it's prophetic. And those 350 years began when the bulk of the slaves were brought over here to the Americas in 1619, 1620, which mainly 1620. And it ended 350 years later in 1969, 1970, when a man by the name of Abba Bivens started teaching and waking Israel back up to knowing that they were Israelites. And then from that point on, he chose certain men to lead the charge after his death, which was King Masha, High Priest Ariah, and High Priest Yaikwab. And then in turn taught other men and you have what you have today. The truth that's out here about the Israelites. And that's history. Now, you're not going to find it in the Metanetta. You ain't going to find it in the Egyptian Book of the Dead and them different texts, pyramid texts, and whatever other texts, that you have. Why? Because those books are nothing but fairy tales. And the way that you pronounce or decipher those hieroglyphs, you got that from the white man. So how do you know that that's really the way that's pronounced, or that's the way that you say that? Because you got that from the white man. The white man's a damn liar.
Yeah, y'all better quit it, man. The Lord ain't dealing with that bullshit, man. And you saw Netta. You need to get into another business, man. Yeah. Because that shit is, y'all are looking bad, man. A lot of them people that follow y'all, they're starting to wake up. The ones of them that can't wake up, then the hell with them, man. Let them be destroyed, man. But you people out there, the Most High is dealing with the children of Israel, man. We have the prophecies on it, which is in the book. I don't give a damn how many times you read them pyramid texts and all that. It's all bullshit, man. It's all crap, all right? And you better wake up. You better get with the program if you're of the elect. But I want to read this here, and we're going to get ready to close it in about another minute or so. This is in Deuteronomy 29:28, and it goes hand in hand with the Apocryphy, where it speaks about Asareth, right? Asareth is America. That's another name for America because that's that other land. And I'm going to prove it. It says, and the Lord Yahweh rooted them out of that land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation. Indignation means justifiable anger. And cast them into another land as it is this day. Now, when it says as it is this day, it's talking about as it is this very day. Today's date is November 1st, 2014. They're in that land to this very day. Somebody give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Now I'm going to go to the Hebrew. I'm going to look up the word another land. There's a lot of good stuff in here, man. Okay. Now I wrote the word Asarath, right? Or it's spelled differently sometimes. It's Zarath. It says the Americas was called Asarath or Asarath. And it says on the headline, it says Native Americans are Israelites. Then it goes into, it even mentions 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. So, I mean, you can't get around it. You cannot get around it. Go ahead.
This is from from the Jewish Encyclopedia under Arsareth. It says, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration. According to 4th Esdras 13 and 45, Columbus identified America with this land. So it's in the Bible, yep. Yeah, so he said, according to 4th Esdras 13 and 45, then it says, Columbus identified America with this land. See Kaiserling's Christopher Columbus, translated by Dr. C. Gross, page 15, which we told you this guy Columbus knew about this side of the world. That's why when the friar or whatever, the priest, when he asked him, what makes you so sure that this land is over there? He said the calculations of Tuscany, somebody else he mentioned, he said Esdras. And then the guy said, well, Esdras is a Jew, you know? So he mentioned that because of this account. And this guy here is saying that Christopher Columbus identified Arsareth with America. So it lets you know that he knew where he was going. He wasn't looking for another route to Asia. That's all bullshit. That's a cover story. He knew exactly where he was going, and he knew exactly who was here. That's why he brought those Hebrew interpreters with him, they were so-called Jews. You know, them fake Jews. This says the name. It has been suggested by Slider Snessy, if I'm pronouncing it right, which I know I'm not. It's taken from Deuteronomy 29, 24 to 27. Because they forsook the covenant of the Lord and went and served other gods, the Lord rooted them out of their land and cast them into another land, Eretz Aheret. As this day, this passage is made to refer in Mishnah Sanhedrin 10:3 to the 10 tribes composed. But different opinions are expressed by Akiba and Eliezer. The traditions are rather confused as to the names, whether the 10 tribes may be expected to return or not, since this point is not determined in scriptural verse. One of them takes the words as this day to signify that as the day goeth, but doth not return, so shall they who are cast off not return. So they pretty much, you get the gist of it, and if you know the history, that the so-called the 10 tribes came over here to the so-called Americas back then when they got cast out of the land of Samaria and were slaves under the Assyrians.
Yeah, when you go to and I read it, Deuteronomy 29 and 28, said how the Most High cast them into another land. It said, and cast them into another land. Another is from the Hebrew, Akar Aratizah. Now the Atareth, the last part of that word, is the same Hebrew word which means land. So the word means, but they're saying it's slightly different, but it means land or another land or new land. Actually another land. And that's a fulfillment of Deuteronomy 29 and 28. Oh, somebody told somebody to ask someone to get me Deuteronomy 28, 68.